Okay, so today we're diving into what might just be the fastest path to wealth in history, and it's all being powered by AI. We are talking about a massive, fundamental shift in how businesses get built, one that's allowing tiny teams to get absolutely massive results. So let's explore what this new reality actually looks like.
I mean, that's a direct quote from our source material, and you gotta admit, it's a pretty bold claim. But the whole argument here is that AI has created an opportunity so profound, it's completely rewriting the rules of how fast value can be created. So the question is this just a bunch of hype, or is there something really happening here?
All right, let's start with a really big number. There's an AI venture studio, and that's basically a company that exists just to build other AI companies. And they are on a path to create $1 billion in enterprise value in just 33 months. Now, their original plan was for 5 years. They're on track to do it in under 3. That's the kind of scale we're talking about.
Now, let's bring that down to something a little more, tangible. For the new companies they help start, the goal for that first $1 million in revenue is just 3 to 6 months. The speed here is just staggering, and honestly, it's the key to this entire shift.
This is exactly why you're hearing people call this the new AI gold rush. We're seeing this period where the barriers to entry have just completely collapsed, especially for businesses built on information and automation. It's allowing these small, agile teams to compete on a scale that was pretty much unimaginable before.
And hey, this isn't just some theory. Check out this anecdote. A 20-year-old with absolutely no prior coding or tech company experience used AI tools to build a business that was pulling in $60,000 a month after only 12 weeks. He just got it. He understood this new paradigm.
So how is any of this even possible? Well, it all comes down to one core concept: the shift from being a doer to being a director. This right here is the fundamental change in how work gets done, and, more importantly, where we as humans provide the real value.
And the contrast here is, well, it's everything. The old model, that valued the doer, the person actually executing the tasks. Your value was tied to your ability to do the work. But the thing is, AI is getting incredibly good at doing things. So the new model, it values the director, the person with the vision, the strategy, who uses AI as a tool to bring their ideas to life.
So the director is the new critical human role. It's not about performing the task anymore. It's about having the vision, the taste, the strategy. You basically become the brain, guiding this almost infinite workforce of AI doers to make your vision a reality.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The actual act of doing is quickly becoming a commodity, something handled by automated systems. The real defensible value is shifting away from execution and moving straight towards ideation and direction.
So what does a company that's built on this new principle actually look like? Well, it's way leaner than you might imagine. In fact, people are starting to call it the two-person powerhouse. This powerhouse team is made up of just 2 key roles. First, you've got the business expert. This person is the director. They're out there talking to customers, finding the problems that are perfect for automation, and providing the overall vision. And then you have the technical mind, who orchestrates all the AI systems to actually execute on that vision.
And listen, this isn't a model for some small lifestyle business. This is the proposed structure for a 2-person team to build a $10 million revenue company. I mean, in the AI community, people are even joking that we'll soon see billion-dollar companies with just 1 employee.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, but one of those roles is a technical mind. I'm not a programmer. Well, here's the thing. The very definition of technical skill is being completely turned on its head.
So yeah, that's the crucial question, right? If it's not traditional coding, what does this new technical expert actually need to know how to do? The new technical skill set is all about being an orchestrator, not a manual creator. It's about understanding automation, knowing how to talk to AI through prompt engineering, building systems of AI agents, which are basically AIs that can perform tasks on their own, and getting them to work together, and finally configuring all these tools to achieve the director's vision.
So here's the absolute kicker. The biggest barrier has been lowered because the new primary language for building software is just English. You're talking to the AI, you're instructing it in your natural language, and it's the one writing the code and doing the tasks. This brings us to what I think is the most empowering part of this entire shift. With all the doing taken care of, the skills that make us uniquely human,
They aren't just relevant anymore. They've become our single greatest economic advantage.
And this just lays it out perfectly. Vision, creativity, taste, the emotional intelligence to truly understand what a customer's real problem is, that uniquely human touch. These are the things AI really struggles to replicate, and guess what? They are the core responsibilities of the director.
Okay, so after hearing all this, the final, most obvious question is just kind of hanging there in the air, right? How do I start? How do I find an idea, learn these new skills, and actually build something? And the answer, maybe fittingly, is to use the very tool this whole revolution is built on. The starting point for your journey into this new world is to simply ask the machine itself.